Welcome back Ultima Weapons, it's the Night Sky Prince again. The development of Final Fantasy VII Remake has certainly been a secret one. In fact, we haven't gotten a new trailer for this game since the PlayStation Experience trailer, all the way back in 2015. The game has been in development since 2014, so it seemed like now, more than ever, they'd have something to show off. Well, in a recent interview done by Edamame Arcade channel, we now know that Final Fantasy VII Remake was actually slated for this year, at least according to Nobuo Uematsu. When they asked why Uematsu decided now to start doing Final Fantasy VII concerts, Uematsu said that's because this year followed by a long beep sensor. And they didn't just bleep what he was saying and the subtitles, they even went as far as to cover his mouth. What he said introduced a huge reaction out of Kitase and Sakaguchi, who were also there as part of a Final Fantasy VII Legends interview. When Kitase heard what he was saying, he actually stepped in and had to politely tell him to stop. Kitase even mentioned how Uematsu has said this at a concert before, and it got them in a lot of trouble. So what exactly did he say? Well, according to Japanese people on Twitter who attended the concert in May, Uematsu essentially said that Final Fantasy VII Remake was supposed to release in the year of 2018, this year, and unfortunately this did not happen. And here we are in the fourth quarter of the year, closing in on November. So this does seem to reaffirm that there was an internal delay of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Nobuo Uematsu, while no longer directly working for Square Enix, does contract work for them, and is said to be composing music for Final Fantasy VII Remake. It really does make sense that he would plan his concert around this year, as he was most likely told it would be the target release window for the game. As we all know, Final Fantasy VII Remake did not make its target. However, with Uematsu on a current hiatus in order to recover his health, it would seem that he did in fact finish the music that he was working on for the game, as many people would have already speculated from the concerts alone. Final Fantasy VII Remake has been in development for over 4 years now, which is very typical of a JRPG of this nature, ranging from 3 to 5 years of development. But during the transition from the game being developed from a third-party developer to in-house, quite a bit of time was probably lost. Not only did they have to set up a development environment, but they also had to hire several people to accommodate the additional workforce needed to make a game this big. And more than likely, there were several assets and elements of the game needing to be reworked to more accurately fit Square Enix's vision. So who knows how much that set them back by? We know that Kingdom Hearts 3 lost an entire year of development time due to switching from Luminous Studio Engine to Unreal Engine 4. When we look at the release timings, both being offset by a year, it would seem that Kingdom Hearts 3 was meant to release in 2017, and Final Fantasy VII Remake was meant to release in 2018. Both of these games ended up having major setbacks, but we're now seeing these games back on track and come to completion. Man, it seems like bad luck with engines and company situations seem to follow Tetsuya Nomura around on every project. It'd be nice if he could just catch a break for once. Of course, Nomura has stated that the company plans to open up more about Final Fantasy VII Remake a ton after the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, of course, as the company themselves doesn't want to show more about FF7R until KH3 comes to a close in its development. And he's also said recently that the game is much further along than the public believes at this point, leaving the game to most likely release in Square Enix's fiscal year of 2020, which starts April 2019, meaning that we shouldn't be surprised if we start seeing Final Fantasy VII Remake next year after Kingdom Hearts 3's release. So Ultima Weapons, does it surprise you that Final Fantasy VII Remake didn't make it this year like Uematsu thought it would? Or are you willing to be patient as long as the remake turns out good? Subscribe, click the bell icon, and let your voice be heard in the comments below. And if you really love Final Fantasy VII, I mean really love Final Fantasy VII, be sure to check out our Facebook group, Ultima, Square Enix plus JRPGs. It's the only thing you'll love more than Tifa doing jumping jacks. Link in the description below.